are anything like me and are just thinking, hey, Mike needs to trim his beard. Yeah, this is a weird look. You got a home here. Welcome to the Go Show, celebrating all things outdoors in this beautiful outdoor playground of a state, nation, and world that we live in. Thanks so much for being here. Thanks so much for hanging out. And a happy Thursday to you. We are almost to Friday, y'all. It's hang in there. We're going to get there. We're going to make it happen. We're going to get there. It's all going to be good. If you were looking for Russell and Hunter, that is already broadcast today. So doggone it. I had a scheduling snafu, but we still wanted to play along with all of you, but it is still available on your favorite social media platform and podcast as well. So glad to have you here. This is a very unkempt look for me. What's up, Lynn? I am a just very unkempt vibe happening. I've been kind of back and forth to a very dear, near friend who was having some problems and ended up in ICU. Been released just moments ago, discharged. So it's fantastic. Unfortunately, the I live in Goodyear, and this hospital was in let's see, was 50 miles away in Gilbert. Off Val Vista in the 60. Like, that's where I used to live. I mean, 202. That's where I used to live. And I think, oh my gosh, how am I so far? How did I live that far away? Whoo, man, tell you what, it was a hot minute, but everything is good and all is well. So I'll get cleaned up a little bit later. But let's talk about what we said we would be chatting about today. And the reason why I want to talk about comfort in your being in the outdoors and comfort in your gear, there's a couple of reasons. I came across an article when I was doing my research. And again, yes, I do prepare for this show. It was talking about something called heel drop. Runners and hikers understand heel drop. It has to do with shoes. And I never thought about heel drop because I never run. If y'all see me running, I'm being chased and I'm out of ammo. Call the cops. I'm new to the hiking world because I've basically been, dragged into it by my girlfriend. I kid, but I don't really. So hiking is a thing, but I never heard of heel drop. So I'm new to the game. Heel drop apparently is the in a shoe. It is the difference in height from the heel to the toe, the cushion in the heel, the cushion in the toe. So if it's a 1 inch cushion in the heel and there's a 1/2 inch cushion in the toe, you got a 1/2 inch heel drop. Yeah, right on. Heel drop is usually done in the metric system, but we're Americans. We don't do that. We invented the damn system, and apparently we don't use it. But I like what we're doing because I seriously need Siri every single time I have to convert something. Moving on. So I thought, well, why does that have anything to do with anything? Then I thought about my hiking boots, and I thought about my regular boots, and I thought about the insoles that I put in there, and they're not the molded insoles. They're like stuff you buy at Target or Amazon and Dr. Scholl's. And I thought, I'm like, gosh, every time I pull these things out, I'm like, they've got such a thick padding on the heel, and they've got nothing up top for my toes. And I never really thought that that's what would be referred to as heel drop, but I never thought that would be a comfortable thing. And they haven't really. I mean, for the most part, I put the insoles in there to make my hiking boots and I'm saying my hiking shoes and my hunting boots a lot more comfortable. It doesn't really do it. It really does. It just doesn't. And that's what brings up the importance. And this is what I'm talking about. So we got two different things to talk about when it comes to being comfortable in the outdoors. The first is, and I'll stay on topic here. The first is I need to be comfortable and confident in all of my gear. And when I say all of my gear, I mean all of my gear, to the insoles that I have in my shoes, to my firearm, to the hat that I'm wearing, to the clothing that I'm wearing, to my my bino gear, my backpack. Everything I have to be comfortable and confident in. And I'm going to tell you what that's going to do. I mean, we start at your feet. So start your feet and you're out hunting. You're out hunting and your feet are starting to hurt. I was on 2 hunts where I could not feel my toes. Those were miserable hunts and I had zero confidence in really anything. And it started with my feet. My feet were cold. It was junky, and that's all I could think about. I wasn't thinking about the wind. I wasn't thinking about, I wasn't focusing on listening. I wasn't glassing. All I was thinking about was how to get my damn toes warm. And so I wasn't comfortable and confident in my gear. And it's tough here in the valley, in Arizona, because usually you're hunting in climate that you're not used to. Yeah, Arizona, the valley at least has 2 temperatures, perfect and hotter than Satan's tuchus. So You get up into the high country in November, and like, I'm not used to 15 degrees. This kind of not my thing. So you think, okay, I got some boots. I love them. They're comfortable. I got some wool socks, super comfy. And then all of a sudden, you get up there and you're like, now I'm not comfortable and I'm absolutely miserable. And that's just your boots, y'all. Because now I'm not thinking about hunting. Now I'm not. Now the task at hand is escaping me because I'm trying to make sure I get out of my head all of the Mount Everest documentaries I've read and people losing their digits to frostbite. So I'm trying to stop thinking about that. Obviously, I'm not in jeopardy. I'm not jeopardy of frostbite at that location, but still, that's where my mind goes. And so I just because of my boot or my socks or the insole, hunt is not as successful as it probably or as skilled as I want it to be. So then you go up from there. Just what you're wearing is the same thing. Is it too tight? Is it too loose? Is it making noise? If I don't have the confidence in what I'm putting on that morning in my tent, if I don't have the comfort and confidence that I'm going to be comfortable all day, I'm not going to be making a lot of noise, and I'm going to be temperature regulated. If I don't have that confidence, that's where my mind goes. Why didn't I bring an extra jacket? Why didn't I buy those overalls that I wanted? Why didn't I do that? Why didn't I take advantage of that sale? I would have been fine right now had I not done that. That's where your mind goes, and you're not thinking about, oh, there's that elk. And let me explain why that's important. There's a show that I used to watch all the time called Brain Games. I loved that show. Brain Games, it was fantastic. It was fun for the whole family. It was just good stuff. The kids and I watched it all the time. And there was something that they were talking about motorcycles. And this is why you see all the signage up there that says, look twice for motorcycles. There's science behind that. It's not just, you don't hurt motorcyclists. It's not just a pro motorcycle ad. There's science behind it. Because, and this has happened to me before, when you look, you check your blind spot, you look over, you check your mirror, you are telling your brain, see if there's a car there. So your brain is telling your eyeballs, check if there's a car in my way. If your eyes do not see a car, they tell your brain, go ahead, you're good. Your eyes weren't looking for a motorcycle. And there's something, I forget the term that is used for it, but you are blind to what you aren't looking for in that moment. And I've done this before. I've done this on a roundabout. I almost smashed a woman on a bicycle because I looked left, and I just started to merge into it, and boom, I had to lock the brakes because my brain did not tell my eyes to look for a bicycle. They told my brain, look for a car coming on this roundabout. So I've seen that. So now, if your brain is focusing on something else, it's not telling your eyes to see what your target species is. It's not telling your eyes to find the right. You might walk right by a scrape, some sign, or the actual animal. You might miss it all because your brain is somewhere else. So that's why I think it's absolutely crucial to have the right gear. And Lynn said preparation is key. Then 100%. And I went through the preparation age, Joe. Anyway, it is because your brain needs to focus on one thing when you're hunting. Y'all, it's an away game. And for athletes out there, people who play sports, you are playing an away game when you hunt. When you fish, you're playing an away game. You're on their home court. So you have to outplay them. If your head is not in the game, your head is on thinking about something else, that you're giving them even more of an advantage, and you are now, it's a disadvantage for you. So that is key. The third is huge to me, is being comfortable with your firearm. A lot of people will shoot their 300 Win Mag, 270, the 30-06, whatever it is, and if you give me this 6.5 Creedmoor nonsense, you and I are going to have words. 6.5 Creedmoor is the CrossFit of the hunting world. Changed my mind. Yeah. You have to be confident in your firearm. If you only shoot that thing to sight it in once a year, you are again giving your target species the advantage, more of an advantage. You are more at a disadvantage. Because the second you line up And the second you get that, if you don't have 100% confidence, all you're thinking about are the holes in the target when you sighted in. That's all you're thinking of. And you all know this. You did not bullseye. You did not 10 ring your rifle when you were sighting it in. You said, oh, yeah, it's an inch above at 100. That should be dead on at 200. How many times have you heard that at the range? How many times have you heard your buddy say that when you go hunting? So now you're thinking, you're like, okay, it's at 150. Where am I supposed to hold? You don't have the confidence. If you take me out with my AR and I hunt anything, I have probably more confidence than I should. I am accurate as it gets with that thing. It is so dialed into perfect that I have zero. Where that dot is exactly where that projectile will land. Absolutely, every single time. I don't have so much with my 30-06. Don't have so much with my 270. Who knows? That's the thing. So then right when, boom, now I got the target species in my sights, now I'm second guessing. Now I'm questioning. Instead of Mike, put the crosshairs right there, pull the trigger. Mike, put the dot right there, pull the trigger. That is so, I mean, that could be the difference between a successful harvest and not. And of course, the non-successful harvest we call hiking with firearms or camping with firearms. That's what it is. Or what do we call it? Nature watching. I remember there was a thing. There was a big stat we were getting. We're getting a whole load of stats. I think it was at the Small Business Summit at your Arizona Game and Fish Department. And they were talking about how much money goes into wildlife viewing. It's a big thing, big push. We need to get these wildlife viewers in here. Oh, wildlife viewers. I raised my hand. I said, not a lot of wildlife viewers in Arizona. No, those are just unsuccessful hunters. Really what it is. That's what we call it. Oh, no. We went out hunting. No, man. We're just, opening day dove season. That was a bird watching. I had my binos out. It's just an unsuccessful hunt. But the firearm is so key, even more so than the firearm. Even more so is I talk to the archers out there, the bow hunters. Getting comfortable with your bow is as confident building as I just explained to you with my AR. And there's probably 4 people I know in the outdoor world that are as comfortable as they need to be with their bow because they put in the time. And one of them is Slavo. My buddy Slavo. Slavo Salt, best seasoning in the world. SlavoSalt.com. Use the code GOSHOW and get 10% off your order. Slavo slings about 40 to 60 arrows a day. Every day. He is so comfortable and confident in shooting his bow that he doesn't, I don't even think I think he might rifle hunt. I don't think he does. It's definitely not his first choice. He might get drawn for it. Yeah. So, all right, Grizz, thanks, buddy. Appreciate it. No, it's all good, dude, man. Get right on the doctors. Actually, Grizz, tomorrow we're going to be talking about some Western medicine stuff. So you might want to tune into that for sure. But being comfortable and confident in every aspect of your bow is wildly crucial because you're in the adrenaline. You've heard buck fever. So you kind of shaky, the adrenaline's hitting, you're drawn back on it, and he's kind of one of these little shaky, a little bit of shaky. That shaky goes away when you're just dead confident in everything is muscle memory right now. My anchor point, everything is dialed in. I've got it. I know I'm going to take this shot and it's going to be ethical. It's going to be successful and we're going to have a successful hunt and we're eating strap tonight. How about that? That's wildly important. To wrap this part up on the importance of being comfortable and confident in your gear in the outdoors. And by the way, it could be hiking. It doesn't even have to be hunting. It could be hiking. It could be paddle boarding. If you have an inflatable paddleboard, are you confident there's no leak in it? Are you confident enough to go out into the Pacific Ocean with it? Are you? Or did you test it before and now you're just dead confident in it and you don't have to worry about any leaks because you know there are no leaks. You're just going to cruise on through. Everything's going to be good. Hiking, same thing. All right, is your Camelback leaking? Are your shoes in good working order? Who knows? If you do know, then you're going to have a better experience. Okay? And to wrap it up, I want you to be able to repair the problems in the field. Archery, is bow hunters. This is the toughest thing probably to deal with because you believe it or not, it's a lot harder to fix a bow. Well, I don't think believe it or not, if you're an archer, you know this. But those that aren't bow hunters, it is wildly difficult to repair a bow in the field. It just is. Unless you have the equipment in your pack, it darn near impossible at times. I've got several stories. Firearms, a lot easier in my mind because you should be able to easily disassemble, reassemble. You should be able to easily fix a jam. You should be able to easily diagnose any problems that you're having with your firearms, period. There's one that is a thorn in my side right now, and if anyone can help me out with this, I'd greatly appreciate it. I have two very beautiful Beretta A400 shotguns, and now both of them are jamming. I've had a gunsmith clean them professionally, so it was me cleaning them, but then a gunsmith went in, took them apart, everything good. Dang things jam. I don't understand how you spend that much money on excuse me, on anything they jam. All right, let's see. Lynn asked, what about people you're with? How confident do they need to be? If they're taking a shot, 100%. If they're taking a shot, we need them to be as close to 100% confident as possible. If they're taking a shot in that shot, right? And in their gear, of course. But as far if they're not taking a shot, then no, we just need them to be comfortable in their gear, that they're going to be comfortable. They're going to have an enjoyable time, and that's it. And that's kind of the second mode to what we're going to get into here is comfort overall in the outdoors. So they have to be confident in basically just taking the shot is really what I'm going to go with. Comfortable in their gear, so they're comfortable physically, and then comfortable in their ability to take an ethical shot. That's what I would say. If they're with me and something's wrong with your firearm, I can most likely fix it. I could diagnose that in the field, and I could probably do that. I would like you to be a little more comfortable and confident in that. I would like you to have broken down your AR, or broken down your shotgun, broken down your hunting rifle before we go, and learned how to put it back together and learned it on your own. But had you not, I most likely have and know the basics, and I could probably get you out of a jam, so to speak. Ha! All right, thank you for being here. This is the Go Show, celebrating all things outdoors. This beautiful outdoor playground of a state, nation, world that we live in. So good to have you here. It's almost FAFO Friday, and if you've never seen a hippopotamus get slapped by a human, you're not going to want to miss this. You can check that one off the list for sure. FAFO Friday tomorrow, but let's wrap up this show. So, the second part of confidence in your gear and comfort in your gear is we are in the business of winning hearts and minds. We are in the business of making sure that people try our outdoor way of life and then want to come back. This is one of my biggest pet peeves when it comes to camping. When it comes to camping, and when it comes to maybe entry-level hunting like dove hunting, entry-level anything with angling as well. The focus has got to be off of you and onto that person, because that person's comfort, like we're talking about tonight, that person's comfort is going to determine the comfort level, is going to determine if they do this again, if they try this again. Let me give you the easiest example I can think of. Camping. Oh, Mike, you like glamping. You damn right I like glamping. Oh, I do love glamping. I don't think you should be. I don't want to be miserable when I'm camping. That's crazy. I look at some of these shows on the Sportsman's Channel. I'm thinking, what me? I don't want to do that. But if I'm taking somebody who hasn't been camping or hasn't been camping in their life or since they were young, I want this to be the most pleasant experience. I want them to have great food, them a great conversation, a great campfire, a great sleeping arrangement, and they're rested, they're relaxed, they're comfortable, they're getting all these healing properties of the outdoors. And then when we're done, then when are we doing this again? Or I'm going to take my family and do this. This is amazing. This is what I want to do. Thanks, Mike. This is it. Do I get that? Do I get that at all? When I hear from the old guard that always chimes in on comments or emails or text and said, oh, well, back in my day, we just laid under a tree and looked at the stars, and we used moss for blankets, and we played chew the bark off the tree when we were bored. And come on, nobody wants to do that. Nobody does. Just because your parents didn't like you and they shoved you under a tree somewhere while they were probably in a tent, hey, my fault. And it ain't the fault of anybody who's going to go camping with you in the future either. Holy cow. Because they're not going to camp with you again. No one would camp with you again if you make it a miserable experience. This is what it is. That's why they call it roughing it. Y'all, it's 2024. We're in 2024 right now. We are the most technologically advanced point of our world's history. We don't need to rough anymore. I'm not saying go out and invest in the $350,000 motorhome. I'm not saying that. As a matter of fact, I look at that and go, that's borderline not getting outdoors. That's borderline not camping. You literally put wheels on your house and you just moved it to a different location, which is fine with me. But don't tell me you're camping. You're not camping. That's not even glamping. The big like $500,000 motor coaches, that literally is just living. You're just living in a different location. You got the satellite, right? You got Wi-Fi. Don't give me that noise. But making it like, that's why I love the jumping jack. I love the jumping jack trailer so much. If those of you don't know, I have a single axle. They have double axles. I have a single axle trailer that has a canvas bag inside of the trailer, and you open it up and it becomes this wonderful 2-bed, 1 table, off the ground canvas tent. And it pops up like that. That's why they call it jumping jack. It takes like 4 or 5 minutes to put together. So this is when and by the way, even Lynn, some people might think having the toilet, having a toilet that in any capacity is glamping. So I've got the jumping jack like that, and then I've got one of those. You can find them anywhere, Amazon, Sportsman's or Bass Pro. You can they call them camp showers or camp changing rooms, and they go up like tents, and it's this nice little. And then I got a luggable loo right in there, a luggable loo for the peeps that don't know. This camping toilet. Then you put that in there, and you got yourself a little outhouse. Fantastic! I think it's amazing. I that's not glamping to me. That's comfortable. I like being comfortable. So I'm doing it. And one of the reasons why I really turned me out to having a trailer or a motorhome is gray water. I don't like this noise. I don't like wastewater. I don't like dealing with wastewater. That to me is not fun. That steals all the fun of the adventure you just had, going to something and setting up a vacuum hose to your toilet. I don't understand it. I do. To me, I just that is akin to I want to get a job going and cleaning out houses. That's not fun. So just that's why I have the little outdoor deal, and it's in these wonderful bags, and it's you put it in the trash bag. Everything's fine. It's good and clean and wonderful. But people want to come back and camp now. People want to go. So my girlfriend and I went out, and she's like, "We got a jumping jack. We need to be doing a lot more camping because it's fantastic." And trust me, she gave me so much garbage about it. Oh, that's glamping. Oh, that's glamping. No, it's not glamping. It literally is a canvas tent. It's just off the ground. And has like what would be the equivalent of 2 double cots, like these little pads. Here's the funny part too. I hope she's listening on her way back right now. She called this glamping for so long, and then tried it, and said, "Hey, something we might want to add to the jumping jack is, those memory foam pads. Now who's glamping? Mm-hmm. But we want to go back." She wants to go back. Then if maybe I didn't get that pad, which I did, but we go out again, she's like, "Gosh, man, my shoulder really hurts. I just wish there was just more padding in this." She might not want to go back again. Going back to you need to be comfortable. You should be comfortable. Now, this memory foam, whatever pad thing, she coming back. She's going to be comfortable, sleeping like a baby. Yeah, it's fantastic. So anyway, go as close to glamping as you're comfortable with if you're bringing anybody camping for the first time, or reintroducing them to camping. And let's just get this over to any outdoor sport is the same as camping. So hunting, just chill out. Let them take some, like if you're bird hunting, something like that, just let them take a shot or two. Don't try to critique them, teach them. Just kind of just let them play. Let them have fun. Let them have a good time. Have coffee and donuts when you show up. Or bagels or something nice, or maybe you go absolutely nuts. And if you have a Rudy's anywhere near you, Rudy's Barbecue, their breakfast tacos, perfect. Have that, step it up for them, have good coffee, and sit around the tail. Go early, stand around the tailgate, drink coffee, sip, have great conversations, and you've got them hooked. It's not all about just going to a lot of people's minds that aren't in our world. That is, I'm going to kill something. Not I'm going to have an adventure with people I like to hang out with. And holy cow, we've actually harvested some things that we're going to eat later. This is awesome because they're comfortable. They're not miserable. Oh yeah, we're going hiking for your. Going hunting for your first time. Yeah, we got to hike 7 miles in uphill and then 9 miles back uphill. Yeah, no, that's not how we do it. Make it nice and comfortable, nice and fun the first time out. And then you say, hey, do you want to get to some more advanced stuff? Okay, great. We'll get some more advanced stuff. I love having you here. Great. You're not part of the hunting crew. It's the same thing with any kind of angling. Same thing. You get them out there on your, $70,000 skater, and you're like, okay, I need you to man the trolling motor. And what are you doing? This trolling motor's got this time. Man, you put them in a nice spot on the boat, nice comfy spot where they can sit or stand. What do you mean you're sitting when you're fishing? Stay comfortable, dude. Catch some fish. Get them on fish. Pay attention to them. Get them on fish. Because again, that outing is about them, not you. It's like taking a kid. Same thing. It's about them. It's not you. And unless I take the kids to Disneyland, it's all about me. I don't care. They've been enough. They're fine. This is dad's time. Anything and going back to like paddle boarding and things like that. Just you're not racing the newbie. You're not. You just basically just, hey man, look, I'll just hang here on my knees with you, just like you do, and we'll just kind of paddle along here. Make sure you're holding the oar right. Great. Let's cruise. If you're feeling more comfortable, we can stand up, or we can get up, kind of get our booties off of our heels here, and kind of sit up while we're kneeling, and just kind of keep going that way, and just learn and learn and learn. Comfort is key in confidence. Comfort is key in trying things again. In beginning a love and developing a love for a sport and an activity. Telling you can't, there's no more roughing it anymore, y'all. Just I think that as we're in the business of winning hearts and minds, I think for conservation, I think that it's all about just let's spoil them out of the gates. And if they want to take that, and if we all become a nation of glampers, God bless us. Who cares? Who cares? As long as we're participating in the model, we're actually participating in conservation. We're getting involved. We're getting active. As an example, let me tell you this. So I went on a couple of Arizona Elk Society, the repairing different meadows and things, all the restoration projects that they do. And I thought it was just going to be grueling. It was me and intern Beans and intern Sarah the first time, and it was a lot of hard work. I mean, we're moving rocks. We're building fence line. There was a lot going on. It was some serious work. But they had 3, and I'm talking about meals. Like we had steak one night. They have an entire chef crew that shows up, and breakfast is eggs, bacon, potatoes, bagels, everything you'd want. Lunch is in bags, so you can take it out there on the site with you, and you got sandwiches and chips, and everything is fantastic and done right. Everybody's comfortable. You know what happens in that? Everybody wants to come back. It's not like, yeah, let's go volunteer at a restoration project. All right, let's go to the grocery store and get a bunch of stuff for us, and hopefully, we'll just chew on bark if we, get hungry or whatever. No, you're comfortable, you're happy, everybody's having a good time. There's photographers out there, people doing social media. Oh, comfort level is key. Always has been, always will be. Tomorrow, y'all, it's FAFO Friday. And it's just a hodgepodge mixed bag. I got a lot of fun stuff. This is absolutely bananas. It's going to be a lot of fun. We're going to have a lot of fun. And maybe I'll play a little bit of I had a radio takeover up in Payson yesterday. I might play a little bit of that as well. So tomorrow, Friday, going to be fun. Great job. Have a great rest of your Friday. Remember, Russell and Hunter in other news has already aired. So if you want to go back to the podcast, or you can just go right here on Facebook, YouTube, or X and check it out. So it was a fun conversation. It was a big boy conversation today. So I hope you enjoy that, and we'll see you tomorrow right here at 11 o'clock right here on the Go Show, celebrating all things outdoors. This beautiful outdoor playground of a state, nation, a world that we live